So this is from Deadline. These new rules just dropped, and they say the Academy of Motion Pictures, Art, and Sciences on Wednesday held a virtual town hall for its members to discuss the implementation of its new inclusion standards for its Oscar Best Picture category. The standards center around on-screen representation and can be achieved in three ways, either by having at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. The second representation rule is that at least 30% of all actors in secondary and more minor roles are from at least two underrepresented groups. And number three, the main storyline, theme, or narrative of the film is centered on an underrepresented group. And underrepresented groups are defined by racial or ethnic minority, LGBTQ+, cognitive or physical disabilities. So basically, you can't be in the running for Best Picture unless you have at least one of these qualifications, and probably more if you're going to end up winning Best Picture.
Okay. So they're trying to diversify the film industry, basically.
These just came out. Basically, like there were already it would be tough to win an Oscar with an all-white cast, especially nowadays.
Well, the funny thing is, isn't the last two Oscar winners were like, so the big Oscar winner most recently was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I forget her last name, but her first name is Michelle, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
She's Korean, I think. And the movie was really good. And then I think the year before that, or maybe it was the year before that, was Parasite, which was another, like, I think Korean-led film.
So that works for these rules because I think Asian is considered a race or ethnic minority.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, they're making these rules now, even though the last, like, 2 or 3 winners have been.
Yeah. I think this is just like, this is more of an official, like, now that it's like in writing.
Cool.
Of like, you have to follow these guidelines to even be in the discussion for Best Pictures. Some people are pissed about it. Mm-hmm. Some people are happy about it. Genuinely, the first thing that popped into my head when I'm picturing like these new rules is like for period pieces.
Bridgerton. That's the first thing I think of. I'm like, okay, we are going to Bridgerton this up. Where is Shonda Rhimes?
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes is about to make a boatload, okay? She's getting an Oscar if she doesn't already have one. She's putting these people of color in these films.
100%. So like let's say for the next movie that they make about the Revolutionary War, like the whole breakaway, like UK, America, and it's like focusing in on colonialism, which like the main characters are going to be all white.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next movie about the founding fathers when, based on percentages, they have to make at least one of them played by Samuel Jackson. And like George Washington, like it's just like Bryan Cranston, fucking like the dude from Billions, I forget his name, Paul Giamatti.
Oh, okay.
Another white actor, and then it's like Samuel Jackson as George Washington.
All I see is Bridgerton right now.
I can't wait. I can't wait until they just have roles casted like that, where it's just like all white period pieces, but they don't, like, they have no lines in the movie explaining why there's a black first president of the United States leading the Revolutionary War. And it's just like Samuel Jackson's in there. It's like, someone get these motherfucking Brits out my motherfucking colony.
I would watch that movie.
I would.
I would pay money to go to the theater.
I legitimately cannot wait, because I'm like, so, especially since like Hollywood is one of the most like hyper polarized, politically correct places where everyone's afraid to say anything, especially period pieces. Like, I can't wait until like a director, casting agents are like, they're wondering like who's going to be the first one to be like, maybe we shouldn't have a black guy play a founding father. And like they're both afraid to say it to each other because no one wants to get thrown out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
and the director's like looking at the casting agent and he's like, so George Washington, huh? For Samuel Jackson, huh? For George Washington. And the casting agent's like, yeah, you know, just like nothing to do with the rules. Like it's you know, the guy that I just thought that
he played the part really well.
He played it the best.
Audition was great.
Great guy. You know, he really brought it in the audition, and I think he's the best for the part. And the director's just like, don't you think it might like take people out of the story a little bit? And the casting director's like, what do you mean? And the director's like,
don't see your point.
Yeah, the director's
it's like a Gen Z person.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a Gen Z.
Yeah, the director's
what do you mean?
Yeah, the director's like, you know, and the casting agent's like, oh, like you're because Samuel Jackson's really loud. You're wondering like that's like, is he gonna overpower the other actors? And the director's like,
not quite what I meant, but
it's like the awkward casting conversations that are gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
I think it's gonna be like, for me, TV is where it's at. Like great movies seem few and far between at this point. Like there's so much better TV shows now, like Bridgerton, Succession.
Bridgerton is like smut. I just watched
I haven't
it
seen
recently.
it. I said it without even seeing it.
It basically is smut. It's like, so you know how a lot of women like to read like romance novels? Like, or maybe like your mom,
you like the
might
airport
read,
novels you see.
Exactly. So that's what Bridgerton is, but it is better because the acting is a lot better. But Shondaland is Shonda Rhimes' name of her production company, which I love because then I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go on a journey to Shondaland.
Shondaland, yeah.
That's how I know she's about to make a killing off of this, because the beauty of Bridgerton is that it does, basically it's like a period drama show, but it's like, and it is based on real life because Queen Charlotte was actually a black woman, but she was super light skinned, so she was passing. So it's kind of based around Queen Charlotte, but it also is super fake because, as we know, unfortunately, there was slavery and all that. There wasn't exactly like people of color that were like high up in the ranks, unfortunately. So, but Shondaland basically combines the fake with the real.
Yeah.
In the sense that you watch the show and it's like people of color wearing the ridiculous wigs, like the wig party would be wearing and whatever else. Yeah. So, and I love that.
It's definitely a look for sure.
Oh my God, I love it. I love Shondaland. But I love that happens though, because there are really talented actors that aren't white that should be in stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's gonna make the scenes that you're talking about where you have like just a black person or a minority in a role that they're playing it in the movie that they were on the other side of history when it was actually happening. So like the script writer that's trying to write like George Washington scolding one of his slaves, but it's like Samuel Jackson yelling at another black guy and the slave's like, what's happening? Like,
yeah,
but
right?
like you don't write it into the script. You can't acknowledge the awkwardness.